Good morning. Today is day 540 of the KMB series. It is officially a year and 6 months since my mother transitioned to glory. I've slowed down doing the videos, but my life has not slowed down. My life has actually been going full circle. And if you've been following this journey with me, you know I'm now in ministry full time, and helping my father, and I'm still in Florida. God has an amazing way of giving us direction, and I love Him because, you know, the scripture said, "Let peace be the umpire of you, and call the shots of your life." And, you know, in the beginning, I contemplated, should I go back? Because I have a whole career, house, cars, things that mean a lot. But there's nothing to me in my life that means more than ministry and my parents and my family. And sometimes in life you have to make decisions where your conscience and your emotions don't line up until later. But my heart posture has always been about my family. Even when I was out there in the streets doing my own thing before the Lord saved and delivered me, every fight I've been in is because you mess with people I love. So I don't take too well with that. But even now, so God is really helping me through this space of season shifting. And I feel like even since my mom's passed, I was going through a season shift right before then. And then little did I know, 3 weeks later, when that season shift started in my career, that my life would be here. But what the enemy thought he was going to try to use for his advantage, God used for my advantage. So I got this chance to see my mom walk out the last 3 weeks of her life unexpectedly. And since then, I want to come on here and talk about some challenges. You know, oftentimes grief opens up the door for things to be seen better. And well, I can only speak for me. I feel like since grief, it has allowed me to see the true heart of people. And sometimes good, sometimes it's bad. So the amount of relationship exposure that I have experienced in this season has been really hard for me. People that you would thought were going to be there for you, especially in a time like this, 80% of them are not. People that you thought you would be with you always, those of you've imparted in, those that you have given loyalty to, those that you have given not only loyalty to, substance. When you've had a lot, in and out of season, when you didn't have a lot, you gave them time and the things that money can't buy to. You know, and it's funny how people forget those things in the toughest time of your life, where it's time for them to show up for you. But so many people are immune to selfishness that they don't consider the things that you're facing. And if you really know me, and if you've been a part of my life, you know I don't ask for much. I've typically been the lender and not the borrower, but there's been some times in this season, like I've had to leave my house, my brand new house that nobody's ever lived in but me, and I still got boxes in it. I've had to lean on people to help me, and no shade, their life did what it did, and instead of them having conversations with me, they've left me. And this is just true moments. It's not being mean. but it's the reality and the facts of it when there should have been a conversation. There have been things that have happened to me where I haven't heard from a person. If I've been in a need, hey, can you do this for me? Go check the mail, do this, do that, do this, It's gotten to a point where people don't even answer their phone. I'm talking about this because first of all, I good check me through the word. And I don't believe I've ever been a needy person. Now I believe that God will show us what we ask for. But, I try not to lean on people too much. I'd rather be the person that is there for someone else than to be the person in need. I think most of us could say yes to that. But there are going to be seasons in your life where things change. And what I found in this season is that there is no true friend like Christ. We preach that until we got to really walk that thing out. But I'm going to tell you something. Just as much as I'm talking about people that have vanished, don't call you, don't check on you, don't answer your texts, and you texting and calling them, nonetheless. I digress. But, and it hurts, I've had some days where I've cried. I've had some days where I've had to readjust people in my life, in my circle. But I also have had a season where God has given me quality friends. There's about 4 people in my life that have shown me nothing but unconditional love. And this is outside of my dad, and my siblings. But you find your tribe because God will still give you quality when you ask for that. He'll give you relational intelligence. He will show you how to interact in relationships. And just because a person's position in your life has changed don't mean you write them off. Because sometimes grief will have you making emotional decisions. And what I'm learning through this is not to do that. So the reason for this video is those of you that know people around you and they've lost somebody, be a better friend. Be a better person of discernment. Have an intimacy with God that teaches you when to reach out, that teaches you to be unselfish, to think about esteem others more than you esteem yourself. Because just because I'm grieving too don't mean I can't be a friend to people. So I've tried to do that. And I'm nobody's perfect, but it makes me more intentional because I understand being in a season where you need people more than ever and they don't show up for you. It's a very hurtful place to be in. And if you're hearing this and you're offended, I pray that you would seek the Lord and you would allow the word to be a mirror in your life. And I've adapted this saying from Joyce Myers. I could be right, but I could be wrong. And I've really tried to make sure that I believe the best in people. But the truth is sometimes you have to also believe what God is showing you. And sometimes what God shows you is not for you to be silly, mean, nasty, and unforgiving, but it is to pray for others. And so I hope that in this video that it causes you to look at you. How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better comforter? Because the Bible says that he that wants a friend must show himself friendly. And there are some seasons where you won't talk to a person every day. But there's a season sometimes when you know a person is going through something so traumatic that you should have enough discernment and godly sense to be more intentional. And this ain't for pity. So if you have not did that, and I'm talking to you and you supposed to be in my circle, that don't mean you gotta call me. But it does mean that you need a soul search. But I'm saying this too because there may be somebody out there through this series that this video can help to be a better intercessor, to be a better friend, to be a better confidant, to check up on people more, to do things a lot better and not to be so selfish that I got stuff going on too. Yeah, we all do. So, just try to be a better you in the process of understanding there are some people that God has connected you to in life that may need you a little bit more in this season. Pray about who that is and what you're supposed to do, your assignment in their life. So I said that all that to say, pray about relational intelligence in this season. My prayer is that God helps me, even through grief, to be there for other people that may need me. This season has taught me to be more unselfish than ever. So I've had some friends and some that even have their parents still here that are going through sickness that I really try to be there for. There's some that have lost someone that I've tried to be intentional about reaching out and praying for. And if you're seeing this video and you're one of those people that needs somebody to pray for you because you're not doing well in this process of grief and healing, send a request under the video. Pray for me, because prayer goes further than anything else can. And my job as a woman of God is to try to always finish my assignment. And I do believe through the grief of my mother that my assignment has changed, that the gift of encouragement that God has placed in me, that is not just for me, that is for those that may see my videos, those that may be in contact with me. And I pray that my godly tenacity to withstand trial, to keep going through problems and to survive grief God's way has helped you do the same. Ask God for whatever you need. He said, if you ask anything in my name, that I give it to you. And I prayed for that. I pray that God will help me to turn my ashes into beauty. And it's a process. And I'm still going through that process of grief. Just because it's been a year and 6 months don't mean that my life should be better. As far as missing my mother, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. It's still hard for me to clean out stuff. It's still hard for me to have certain conversations. It's still hard for me to do certain things. So I still have to go through life at a pace right now with God. And there's some things that I have not been able to do yet. So as other people move on, that doesn't mean that the way that I'm processing grief is the same as other people. And that doesn't make it wrong. And you have to give yourself full permission if you are in the grieving process, whether that's grieving a parent, a child, a loss of a loved one, a job, because I'm grieving multiple things in this season. I'm grieving relationships. I'm grieving my mom, my best friend. I'm grieving the job that I loved and some of the people at it. It's a lot of grief. But I have a big God that helps me through everything, and that's helping me through all things, because I'm so sold out to be intentional at His feet, going through this process, and not just going to the phone. But my level of devotion to God, nothing can take the place of that, because when I'm going through all of these things and trials in life, the one sure thing that I have is my relationship with Him in Christ and the divine connections that He sent to me. Shout out to my Roro. Shout out to Boots. And shout out to my Auntie Tammy. And I have a few other people in my circle that have truly showed me nothing but godly relationships. And I love you. I call names because that means everything to me. And one of them is calling me right now. KMB, peace and blessings. I love y'all. Pray for godly intelligence in this season and stay grounded to Him. Love you, KMB. Bye. For the kids.